So you had made the journey from the mine. You stopped off because of a bad roll and had to fight off an ice spider, cave spider, and then made your way up towards the mountain with the castle. Some of these images take ages. So you cross the foothills into the lower part of the mountain range, and you can see this massive castle sat on top of the mountains. You can, even from a distance, you can tell that it's a larger size than it should be for people the size of yourselves. And with the tales you've heard so far of giants in the area, it's safe to assume it is a castle of a giant, or at least was at some point in the past. Climbing the mountain up to the castle itself is not going to be easy. You have a bear in tow currently, as well as a sled being pulled by two huskies. They would not be made for climbing a mountain, obviously. But when you get to the base of the mountain, you can see that there is a footpath that has been carved into the stone itself. It's wide enough that the four of you could stand shoulder to shoulder quite comfortably and walk up of it. But it gets so steep at parts that there are steps, and these steps are so large that you have to kind of help each other climb up them, which will be difficult if you're taking the bear and the sled and the dogs. So you just need to decide if you want to attempt to climb this with or without these animals in the sled, or if you just want to find another way around the mountain and just bypass the castle completely.
How much stuff did they hold in again? Who was keeping track of that?
It's seven silver and 1 sickle.
Yeah.
Trying to think it. We gamble if we go to anything to try and find another settlement, carrying all that going up to the mountain, or because I'm not sure if we know of it. We don't even know if there's any other settlements further up. I think it'll best hide the sled and stuff like that, and then also we can get it back later because we know where the castle is because we've got a map for it.
Can I have an idea. What if I turn into a bear and see if there's any other paths up?
I mean, wait, how close is the darkness?
I mean, it's going to take the better part of the day to go up the mountain path. You don't need to roll for looking as a bird. I mean, I can assume that you do that anyway, and that's how you know the path winds up the mountain like this and how it gets steep. So ahead of time, you already know it's going to be difficult if you try and take the animals and stuff with you. Because as well as climbing up the steps each individually, you're going to have to haul that sled up and the animals.
Would I have been able to see any villages or anything nearby?
There's nothing like that here. It's very remote, very barren. There's no other sign of civilization. There's no roads or anything like that.
And so I think hide the cart now, and then we know on our way back on our travels we can take it back to sell off the goods as part of our rewards.
No, I'm fine with that. We don't really have much need for money as we get further north.
What would you do about the bear and the huskies though?
Huskies might be useful to have with us. I'm thinking just in terms of like even attack dogs or something to help her do stuff possibly. I have no idea the bear. Who's got actually got control of the bear and the husky?
That's my bear. Wait, do I have control of the huskies too? Since I'm the rider?
Well, I mean, the huskies just go, they're trained to go with the sled. So they just attach the sled and they just go with whoever's navigating the sled. The bear is like tenuously under your control. It's very much a wild animal that's just been sort of subdued.
It is really big, right? Like it's like 10 feet tall.
It's a cave bear, so it's easily twice the size or 1.5 times the size of the biggest bear of our kind of era.
So wouldn't it have a pretty easy time climbing the steps?
Well, no, not an easy time, no. It's very heavy.
But aren't giants also pretty heavy?
Yeah, but giants are big enough they can like step up onto the step. The cave bear's big, but it's still gonna have to like climb up it, and you're gonna have to, control it to climb up it as you go as well. Because climbing high up in the mountain is not its natural habitat.
There's nothing saying we have to go to the castle.
Yeah, there's nothing that says you have to.
So we could just continue using the sled and the bear for faster travel, going around it. If we don't want to explore the castle, it's just the castle may provide like a sort of safer respite to heal our health and stuff. Because I've got 1 health damage just now. Don't know about the rest of these.
So do I. Do we see any lights inside the castle?
No lights, no smoke.
Yeah, so I think we should just probably use one of these giant steps to camp out somewhere flat for once.
Or we could try to camp in the castle.
Well, that's the idea. We could camp in the castle and heal up there for about a week with getting all our health back up to scratch. But there's a risk, obviously, of whatever's in the castle. Or we can just continue on our journey and hope the best. I'm thinking getting up through the mountain because I don't know how much damage we've got in any other factors. I've got like 1 cold and 1 stress maybe, which is not too bad.
Of course, at this point as well, you just don't have any other maps or anything like that, so you've no idea what lies beyond.
I have no supplies as well, by the way, so I kind of need to figure out how many supplies we've got.
I think Draken had most of the supplies.
So between us, then we have no really any supplies, so we kind of need to go hunt and get some.
Yeah, I've got 1 supply.
Yeah, I mean, you can definitely forage for more supplies at this point, at the kind of base of the mountains.
Alright, I guess I'll release the bear for now, and we can just bring the huskies up to the castle with us. I can probably find it again, right?
You could, but do you have Hunter as a skill?
Nah, I might as well just find another bear instead.
If you decide you just want to go up to the castle, you basically just make a journey up to the castle. So if you want to forage for supplies first, you can do that.
I think best try and get supplies first if we've not got any since Draken had all the supplies.
Yeah, that's a small issue.
Yeah.
I don't think he had a lot though. He had like 2 or something. He did not have a lot of them.
Yeah, he had 2, I think.
No, he's only got 1 supply marked here.
Okay, I think hunting is the idea.
Yeah,
Then.
so if you've got Hunter, you can hunt and roll with that. If you've got Survival list, you can roll for that to forage.
I don't have either of those.
Yeah, da.
So prepared for this journey.
That's why I bought loads of them with nearly all my money.
Well, remember, you can always take a fatigue, push yourself, and get a dice.
That would really help if I got a health minus, really, in any case. But
No, it would not. You'd have to get help as well. What about you, Tarlock?
I have a grand total of 1 supply by my last count. And I could also either do hunting or survival because I don't think there's a frozen stream up here.
Yeah, I've usually got 1 dice in each of them.
I have hunter on 2, so.
Ah, okay. Yeah, so you could roll 2 dice for that, plus you get 1 dice for default.
We're not fresh anymore, so.
And Tink and Alex, you could take a fatigue each, and you'll give Tarlock an extra 2 dice as well.
If I take a fatigue on that, I would take another health stick on the journey.
Okay, so you don't want to do that then.
I could take a fatigue to help out.
Yeah, so you can take
Okay.
a fatigue, and then you're giving him 1 dice.
4 dice. Let's hope it does. 2 sucks.
Okay, so yes, you go hunting and you get 2 supplies worth.
Nice. Where's my notes?
And if we want to make a journey up the mountain, so we're going to say if you're taking the dogs in the sled with you, that's going to make it more difficult and slow you down, so you'll have 1 less dice for the journey. If that's what you want to do. If you're going to leave the sled and or the dogs, it's not going to affect the roll.
Who's got the role for this again?
Well, anyone with Pathfinder, Cartographer, or Scout could roll for this one.
I'd have a sinking feeling that was all Draken.
I have a thing and no, I don't. Disregard.
I thought Draken's character was the one that had lost and everything.
Yeah, but he did take Scout, I think, when he rejected his points.
Yeah, he had the he had the Cryptographer. Like has he not got like a Pathfinder one or something, or he's got this?
Tarlock has Pathfinder.
Right.
Yeah. Pathfinder 2.
Okay, so we'll need to leave the dogs and everything, so we've got enough to make it there, don't we then? So we've only got a total of 3 supplies then.
So 3 dice.
Hang on, because it's going to be an extra dice because you're prepared. You can take a fatigue. Everybody can take a fatigue, but you're not going to want to do that because Blue Guy would take an injury.
Yeah.
You do have a map. It's not particularly treacherous, and it's not going to take more than a day. Yeah, so you just get 1 extra dice.
Okay. So 3 dice.
Is it 2 points that you have in Pathfinder?
2 points, yeah.
So 2 points plus your regular dice plus the extra dice, you got 4 dice.
Yeah. 1 success only.
Partial, I mean, that's good enough. Yes, so you are going to mark off 1 supply. Not each, just altogether somebody marks off 1 supply. And that will get used to the top of the path. When you get there, you can hear howling, dogs barking. It's some sort of canine. It's definitely more than 1, it's not a lot of them, it might only be 2 or 3. But they're coming from somewhere in the hallways of the castle.
Sounds like dinner.
Do we see any like recent signs of combat?
No, not at all. There's a thick layer of snow over everything. You can tell this path has been used because it's been like packed down snow, like it's hard ice underneath. But the recent blizzard has left a fresh layer of snow on top of that, so nothing stepped on it recently. And when you get to the top, the snow doesn't look disturbed.
So either they didn't make it this far, or it just got covered up.
Yeah, which would mean nobody's like moved around up here for at least the last 12 hours or so.
Right.
Should I try to sneak in?
Yeah, I mean the doorway is like wide open at the top. Clearly this is a giant's castle. The thing must be the size of 4 times the size of a regular man, at least. You can see like the huge archway leading to a large courtyard, empty corridors all around, the wind just kind of like howling through them, and occasionally the barking and howling of wolves. They're definitely being held in one of the courtyards.
Can we smell anything or see anything?
I don't smell anything though. So you can go into the balconies and take the stairs up onto the ramparts to get a better view of the place. There's a bunch of towers in the hallways you can go through if you want to explore. We could consolidate all that into just a journey roll, just like we did with the cave mine before.
Let's do it.
If you just want to describe to me what you're looking for and what kind of approach you want to take stuff.
Probably trying to find some sort of like either tools or food supplies or anything like that. What about you guys? What do you think? Anything else you need to look for, you think?
Probably a safe place to rest.
Yeah, safe warm, maybe a fireplace.
Okay, so fireplace, fuel sources, and general supplies, yeah. Right, safety as well. So the Dungeoneer can roll for this one.
That's me.
If someone wants, they can take a fatigue to give him an extra dice.
Should we rest first before we go in?
Yeah, of course you can. I mean, you can rest, you can make camp, you can have a rations to restore a fatigue. And remember, when you eat a ration, everybody eats that same ration. Yeah, supplies, sorry.
And
Should we take a short rest and eat a ration? Or would that use all our supplies?
Used only one supply for the last journey. And Tyler got 2 supplies from that. Plus we had one set. Said I had one, so it leaves us with. If you use one, it leaves us 1 supply left over.
Assuming you don't find any more here.
I'd say use it because your fatigue's quite high, isn't it, Blue Guy? So I'd probably better to in long terms. What's your fatigue like, Tyler?
we recovered 1 now, right? Or do they understand that wrong?
They're talking about if they should recover one just now.
No, because I have 1 so far.
I think we just use 1. That means you and me, Tulloch, are both at 3 from fatigue, and Blue Guy's still got at least 2 then after that.
Yep, that's fine.
Okay, so you spend 1 supplies, you eat the ration, that gives you 1 your fatigue back. I mean, just eating it alone and not resting is safer because obviously it doesn't take as long, so there's less chance of something cropping up and happening to you. So
Alright.
yeah, Dungeoneer. So if you want to make,
Right, so I'm level 3
Thing.
Dungeoneer, but I'll lose 1 dice because my health thing. So that'll be 3 dice then.
well, you get, if you're level 3, that's 3 dice plus 1 dice because you always get 1 dice for a roll.
But I have -1 health, so that minus me a dice, doesn't it?
Yeah, that'll drop you 1. You aren't all fresh.
Doesn't your new trait help you?
You can burn a torch as well, like mark off a torch to get an extra dice.
I could do that. I think I've got loads of torches. Yeah, I got 3 more torches. So I can burn a torch off.
But it is unknown, so that will lose your dice as well. So that's your torch dice gets lost.
So I'm back to about 4 dice then.
Yeah. And remember, you mark fatigue when you make a roll. Oh, I mean, everyone's going to mark fatigue, sorry, because it's a journey. But crit success, yeah.
Da-da-da-da-da.
Yeah, so you're not going to spend any supplies for this. You find a pair of very large wolves, like you come up to their shoulder. These are dire wolves. They are penned up with thick rope in one of the courtyards. There's bones around them that are kind of chewing and they're chasing each other around because the rope's quite long. But when they smell you and hear you coming, they start barking angrily and howling, trying to get free of their rope. But they are secured well and true and tight, so they don't get to you and they're not able to interrupt you as you're exploring around the castle. You find what appears to be a dining room with a stone table and a stone bench. It has a very large tin bucket that's kind of sat beside this massive fireplace. There's fresh wood there, but it's in massive chunks that, you know, it's like logs basically that you couldn't lift yourself. And there seems to be a giant spit over the top of this fire inside the fireplace as well. You don't find any signs of life though. You do find what looks to be some sort of makeshift mattress, presumably for a giant, and it's just a huge pile of furs and pelts that have been built up. There's also like hay and tree branches that have been laid down to pad it out, and that's just in like one corner of one of the huge rooms. Besides that, there's very little in the way of furniture. There's the occasional stone table or chair or bench that you find, and those are big enough that you have to like climb up to get on top of them and sit on them. There's also it perhaps used to be a pit, but the edges of it are crumbled away, and it seems to be just a very deep hole now. And from down there, there's a smell of kind of rotten meat, and you're pretty sure you can hear something moving around down there. And then you also find the entrance to a mine, a huge, large entrance. And right beside it is a massive pile of silver and lead and tin ore. Massive chunks of it that no human could lift. And who knows how long they've been lying here for.
So I'm back 2 seconds.
Yep. Blue guy went to roll 1 dice for me. You also find a bison that's being hung up. It's been skinned and it's just hanging by its tail on this huge rack. You're able to skin 4 supplies off of that.
Alright. Who used their supply earlier? For the ration? Was that me or is that someone else?
I still have 1 supply.
I'm back.
So we got 4 supplies. I used mine earlier for the ration, so I'll take 2.
I can hold the other 2, and then I've got space.
You're able to find what might have been a pantry at one point, and that seems to be the most sort of secluded, smallest space that you could make a camp in. I mean, it's still a very large space for you, but compared to the other rooms and stuff, it's smaller, easier for you to kind of hide away in. And obviously, it's hidden from the elements because it's indoors.
I think sort of hide out here, and then we can plan out what we want to try and do, or if we want to try and rest up for the week to see if we can get rid of that health minuses from any of us.
Yeah, we can probably stay here for a little bit.
You do not have enough supplies for a whole week. I'll tell you that right now.
Oh, we can at least rest until our fatigue is gone, and then...
Yeah.
Also, we could kill the dogs, couldn't we?
You could attempt to kill the direwolves, yes. They are at a severe disadvantage, obviously, because they are chained up.
I was thinking the same thing. Kill the wolves.
What if I transform into a direwolf and try to talk to them and convince them to join us?
Some direwolves are sapient and have a language, sure.
It'd probably end up going the same way as earlier. I just have to jump on them and punch them in the head until they submit.
Do you just want to fight the wolves now, or do you just want to make camp first?
We should definitely rest first.
Yeah, camp first then.
Okay, do you want to spend 2 supplies for making camp? If you don't, you're going to get cold and fatigue. Or cold or fatigue.
I can use the 2 that I just got.
Okay.
If I use cook, then I can make it better as well anyway.
Yes, you can improve how much they're going to get back, yeah.
Right, so I'll roll for cook first
Yeah,
then.
so you will take 1 fatigue for making the cook roll, obviously. But you will get... well, hang on, I should have the... Who is scouting for the camp? You're scouting for the camp as well, because you're a dungeoneer, aren't you?
Dungeoneer, yeah.
Let's just say it's sheltered anyway, because it is enclosed and protected. Okay, yeah, so you're getting extra dice for your cooking roll.
Level 2, -1. Get our normal dice, that's 3. Extra dice, which is 4, but minus a dice because of the health, so
Yeah,
3.
3, yeah.
No good.
You get XP. Yeah, I mean, maybe you're trying to prepare the supplies that you skinned off the frozen bison, and it's been lying there for quite a long time, and it's you don't cook it enough, and it's still kind of half cold while you're eating it, so it's not very pleasant. Does someone want to tell a tale?
Do either of you not have 2 yet?
He already told you 1 tale.
I've told 2 so far.
I've told 2 as well, so Tarlock, it is your go.
Story time, Tyler.
Okay. Get around, younglings. What's a good one? Sorry, I'm just looking at
Yep.
traits. Wait, wasn't I the one that failed to roll that let us into the silver mine? With the red crystal?
Maybe, I can't remember.
No, the crystal mine was a dungeoneer thing again as well, so it was me.
I think I'm gonna go with this then. Okay. So, do you remember when we went to the village, I was raiding the other one? You know, some, what was it, days ago in game? Do you remember how, callous we were back then? Didn't we kind of fail ourselves then by not helping the people of the other village? Instead, just leaving them to those raiders, those monsters? Shouldn't we try to be better? Shouldn't we try to make some warmth, some light in this cold world? Are we not supposed to be better than the monsters that roam up here? I'm shit at storytelling.
Which question are you looking to answer?
When did you fail? And the failure being not helping the people in the village?
I see.
Since, we left them behind and we could have helped. And the trade I would want to put is... I can't put shaded because I just talked myself out of that.
I'll be right back.
Bitter maybe?
Oh, better works, yeah. Yeah, kind of self-loathing almost.
Because you failed those people by leaving them there.
Or maybe it's like just being bitter at the world and the way things work and the choices you have to make.
Society.
Okay, yeah, sounds good. Do either of you two want to take watch? Because he's not going to be able to if he's trying to recover his fatigue.
Alright, I'm back.
I'll take the watch this time.
Do you want to split it with Eric?
If I split it, it's what it'll take, just an extra.
If you split it, you'll recover 1 fatigue each.
Do that. I'm gonna get one. I'm at one because I got the meal recovery one, but other than that, I'll just recover one off it. So I'm happy to split if you are.
So I'll give you Eric, aka Tarlock.
Sorry, I just zoned out. What was the question?
Do you want to split watch with him so you just both get 1 fatigue back?
Yeah, that works.
Okay, so everybody gets 1 fatigue back for eating the meal, and then you both get 1 fatigue back on top of that for taking watch. And, well, depending how the roll goes here for who takes watch.
I'll use the fighter skill for it, so level 3.
Well, let's see, sheltered, so you'll get +1. And it was the Dungeoneer that found this spot, so it's going to be a Dungeoneer roll.
Right, Dungeoneer's level 3, so 4 dice then.
Yeah, and this is to see. You won't take fatigue for this roll. Alright. Okay, so. Yes, everybody's going to get 1 fatigue back. No, sorry, only one of you is going to get 1 fatigue back for the short rest. Because something's going to happen before the other one gets a chance. So you need to decide which one of you gets your fatigue back and which one doesn't. And Joel, you'll get 1 fatigue back for the rest, and then 1 fatigue back for eating supplies.
Okay.
I could have phrased that so it made more sense, but yeah.
I'll take the fatigue, Tarlock, if you want, right?
I mean, I could also take it. It's really nothing to me.
I'm not gonna say no.
Okay, so the person who is not taking the rest fatigue is going to roll for their being on watch. So any skill you've got that applies to your alertness, your survival, your perception.
That's you, Eric.
I thought the one that doesn't take the fatigue.
Yeah, you're not taking fatigue. One person was regaining fatigue.
Yeah.
So he regained fatigue, so you're going to make the roll. That's what he was saying.
That was just survivalist, right?
Survivalist works, yeah.
So 2
And
dice.
you get 1 extra dice because it's a sheltered camp.
Okay. 0 successes.
Yes. So what are you doing that means you don't notice the danger that approaches?
Probably smoking his smoking herbs.
Do these herbs make you kind of distracted?
Yeah, they make me see pretty colors.
Okay, so you're sitting there blowing smoke, entertaining yourself with the colours and a slight delirium from tiredness. And there's a slight rumble in the ground. One of the little logs in your little fireplace just kind of tips over and hits the ground, but you barely even notice it because you're too busy amusing yourself with the smoking. And where you think it's just due to the fact that you're kind of a little bit high, that your eyesight's vibrating a little. And it isn't until this huge shadow passes over you and blocks out the light from the moon and the stars outside through the window that you notice that something has approached. You turn your head and this towering figure, 12 metres or so high, is directly outside of the pantry room. Over his shoulder, he's carrying 3 bison that he's kind of holding by the tail. And in his other hand is this, basically a tree with the branches removed. He seems to be using it as a walking stick.
Oh shit.
He is sniffing the air. Obviously smells the smoke from the fire as he steps into the area of the pantry. Or towards the area of the pantry. Your compatriots are still asleep.
He would start gently hitting him with his foot while he's getting his axe out. Are they waking up?
Oh, you're hitting me, or?
Both of you.
What's going on? I was having a beautiful sleep.
You wake
Yes,
up rubbing your
Lord.
eyes and you look above and you can see the silhouette of this monstrous figure in the doorway.
Ah, it's just a little guy.
The giant.
Bigger they are, easier they fall.
This large bellowing voice speaks in a language that none of you recognise. And and he lifts up this massive tree stick that he's holding and brings it down on top of the three of you. What do you do?
I'm dodging out the way. Grab a sword.
Which fighter skill? I think that would cover that.
Yeah.
Don't forget to take fatigue.
I'm gonna transform into something small and try to dodge it.
Or even smaller than you already.
Yeah, small enough to just fit inside the crack inside of it or something.
Okay, so that's your spell roll, and you'll take fatigue for that as well.
Touch.
Yep, you're going to take an injury as you try to roll out of the way.
Are we still considered in a sheltered place?
No, it's not going to help you.
So it'd only be +1 then -1, so it'd be 3.
Sure.
Would foolhardy help with this?
No. Oh, you're also going to take an injury. What about you, Eric?
Wait, that's it. I'm just assuming that a giant is an Achilles heel, right?
What, sorry?
I'm assuming a giant is an Achilles heel.
Yes, it's the same anatomy as a human being.
Yeah, so we just slash the heel and watch it fall.
Okay.
Easy.
Alright, so that'll be your fighter skill, definitely.
Yeah. So it's 3, 4, 5. No, fucking.
You two guys use take XP for your field rolls as well.
3 successes.
Oh, that's a crit. Yes, so is it a sword that you have, or is it an axe, or what's your weapon?
Double-handed axe.
Oh,
Think Skyrim battle axe.
Yeah. Okay, so you're running, diving around the side of this massive tree trunk that's coming down towards you. You roll around the side of the thing's giant foot, around to the rear of its ankle, leap into the air, swinging your double-handed battle axe, and sinking it into his Achilles. He lets out a painful roar, it sounds like, and there's a slight kind of vibration in the air around you, and you can feel it in your chest. As he drops the stick, lets go of the 3 bison carcasses which splatter to the floor, and then he crouches down on one knee and holds the back of his ankle with his hand in pain.
Well, looks like you have a fallen giant. Are the others moving to finish it off, or?
I'll run up on his back and then get my sword to stab into his head.
You want to run up his back?
Run up his back and then stab his head. That's
Okay.
my plan.
Okay. You don't have climbing gear, do you?
True, actually, I'm small as well, so.
Yeah, it's not an easy thing to do. So what skill would you like to use for it?
Yeah. Trying to think of a better idea than that, because obviously I can't really run as high as it.
Could I use tall and fighter to throw him on top of the giant?
To help him, yes, you could, but you'll take out fatigue doing so.
Okay.
Right, so takes fatigue, that helps throw me to get up there, and I just roll my fighter then for that then.
Sure. Oh. Okay, so you both get an XP, and Alex, you get an extra XP because you used the trait. Yes, you try to throw him up there because he's a dwarf. You try to run up on their back, But the giant sees what you're doing before you're able to do it, and he bats the two of you away with his one hand, and you both take an injury. And you spin across the floor. And he like tries to get up again on both feet, and instantly kind of like falls down on his knees again and lets out a shriek of pain. You can see him like turning around to try and see Eric now, the one that's caused him this injury.
Seeing that, he's up again, right?
He tried to get up again, but he fell down because he can't stand on it. Because he tried to stand up on it and put all that weight on it again, you know, he's really damaged it now.
So is he lying in the way where I can try to hack at his privates?
He's down on his knees. I think he's still... You could jump up and try that, you know. I'd say that's going to be difficult, so you can do your roll beat of 1 less dice.
Or just 3 dice then. Let's hope I hit something vital. 2 successes.
That's good enough, man.
You monster.
You leap into the air. He's wearing very little in the way of clothing. He just has some furs kind of like wrapped around his torso and stuff. You leap into the air to his dangling testicles and slice the scrotum between the two of them. He lets out a howl of pain, clutches himself and topples over, face down into your fire, and then lets out another roar of pain as his eyes are burned with the flames, and he rolls over on his side, clutching himself, bleeding. He's, for all intents and purposes, he is incapacitated.
Well, time for Eric to try and take his head.
I don't think that's like physically possible, but you could like cut his throat, yeah.
Yeah, I'm just trying to cut his throat. Oh god. Again? 4 dice now?
I don't think you need to roll for that, but just take a fatigue for it.
Okay.
Yes, while he's like suitably distracted and blinded, you're able to just cut his throat with your axe. And he like bleeds to death, unable to do
Now
much
the
else.
question is, how many supplies worth is this giant?
Yeah, let's check his pockets and pouches.
Well, he was
No,
kind
I
of...
mean, can we butcher him?
Oh, you gonna eat him?
So
It's meat.
that is meat. He's a living, intelligent being, so it might not be that pleasant. He was carrying 3 bison that obviously he'd killed himself.
True.
And they're lying there they're not been skinned yet or anything, so they're just lying there fully ready to be harvested.
Does he have any like pouches or anything on him?
No pouches, no belt. He just has like rope that he's lashed furs around himself with.
Use the rope obviously for climbing or anything later.
It's a very large rope, which obviously he's made it, so it's bigger than anything you could feasibly use yourselves.
At least cut bits of his fur off with his outfit or something. We can use that for blankets and all sorts of warmth and that.
You could definitely harvest a lot of fur here, yeah.
I guess let's cut his toes off too and sell them.
So we just performed a home invasion and killed the owner.
One of the owners.
Okay, one of the owners.
Giant's teeth, getting for sale here. Genuine giant's tooth. Good for cup holders and pencil holders.
Are you just gonna cut off his nose and like sell it as a trophy?
Walk around with a big bit of bling.
I mean, the body is not moving anywhere, so we can just leave it here, I think. More than enough trophies on the way back, if you ever make it back.
Yeah, I guess let's go back to sleep and then butcher the bison in the morning.
Yeah, kind of probably need to because kind of like dying now.
Yes, just take another short rest before doing anything else. Everyone will recover one more fatigue.
Well, we can restore the cold since we can make a camp near the fireplace now.
Yes, you recover your cold, yeah.
Injury, restore an injury to some streets.
I'd have to heal it.
Yeah, you'd have to spend supplies to heal it. Or use magic.
2 injury, I should be alright for now.
If you don't treat your injuries, they will get worse.
I'm up for treating injuries.
So I mean, imagine you both took it from the tree stick getting smashed against you. So imagine you've just got really severe bruising.
Well, we also got smacked away when I tried to throw him on top
Yeah,
of
so
him.
these are like cracked ribs, bruising, potentially internal bleeding, something like that.
Yeah, I can just if we use one of your supplies, I can heal our injuries.
Yeah, I've got 2 supplies, so may as well use the supplies to heal injury then.
Are we sheltered again since we're in camp? Or since the giant's dead?
Yes, you'll get the shelter bonus.
So that'd be 2 from the skill, and then +1 for being sheltered, but -1 for having a health off.
Yeah.
You missed a dice. Remember, you get your initial dice as well.
Yes, you also have 1 dice. Default. Didn't do any good. What's the XP this time?
I'm at 7. I can level up again.
Yes, and you just made camp, so you can actually get that.
Should I level up healer and then try to roll again?
Got enough
That's a
to keep
bit
there.
gamey.
If you
Well, I
leveled
had-
up, you can roll 1 more dice, because you would
I
have
had-
leveled up when you rested.
Yeah, because I had 6 before we did it from the fails earlier. It didn't help.
Yeah, you're going to want to get those seen to. But yes, if someone has survivalist or hunter, they can skin the bison.
Time to try skinning the bisons.
Regular roll +1 extra for shelter.
So 5 dice. Because standards. No, I have still 1 fatigue, so only 4.
Okay, roll 2d6 for me.
2d6.
Okay, so you're getting 9 supplies.
Let's go up 3 each then.
I'll be back in just a second. I need to do something.
That sounds good for me.
Is it just me, or are they finding it a little more harder this week because of Draken not being here?
Yeah, I think he was usually the one who distracted stuff while we tried to kill it.
I don't think it actually increased the difficulty that much if we had 1 player short, but it's actually made that a lot. I think it's because we all have skills that balance each other out in total.
Well, I wasn't able to do more stuff because my fatigue was already filled at the very beginning, pretty much.
Yeah, Yeah, minus health thing does make a big difference, minusing 1 dice straight away. Where's that bear when we needed it?
We let it go because it couldn't climb up the steps.
I'll back in a sec.
Alright, I'll be right back then.
Okay.
Okay, sorry about that.
Yeah, that's just went away.
I'm back.
I'm here.
Okay, so you have 9 supplies. Do you want to spend supplies to treat yourselves?
Yeah. Well, I'm not
So
sure
what-
about it.
One
I'll
supply
take that.
treats everybody's injury.
I'll use one of the supplies
Do-
to treat injuries.
Okay, well, who has a skill for it?
Should I roll again?
Do you, is yours a spell?
No, it's the healer skill.
Oh, healer skill? Yeah, you can roll again using the supply. That's good enough, yeah. So that heals 1 injury.
Alright, so we still have 1 left.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
it counts as being treated, so it's not going to get worse. That's the important part. Right, okay.
I'll use one of my supplies.
Okay, you also have the option to have a bale of furs, which would weigh 6 load.
I don't think we can carry much like that, can we?
I don't think so.
We could kill that wolves if we want some extra supply meat before we leave. Or what we plan to do for rest wise? Are we going to try and rest up here to get the health bar thing minus? Or
So for a week, you will need 14 supplies. Well, you said 1 night already, so another 12 you would need. Because this is not a settlement.
Could we make it a settlement?
I mean, do you have any people to make home here and start a business?
Well, I guess the people in the village made like something defensible.
But can we get the village people to move here?
Good question. We would also need to turn back, which would waste more supplies probably.
yeah, basically.
From your vantage point up in the mountains, north and west of you, you just see tundra. Empty. There just stretches up into the horizon.
I'm going to explore the castle, see if we can find any sort of maps or anything around the place, and see if there's something we can use to tell us roughly where we can go or the best way to go.
I'm sure we can find some more supplies in the castle too.
Well, no, because you aced out the exploration roll. You got all the supplies you're going to get in the castle.
There's still the dire wolves.
There are direwolves. Hungry direwolves.
Which will probably kill for all the meat supplies.
We can kill them.
They wouldn't know how to make poison. No, I was going to say poison, but to try and poison the meat as well. Or we got anything we could knock them out with, and then we can cut them in their sleep. How do those herbs work on the animals?
Does anyone have a ranged weapon?
Bow and arrows.
Okay, so I mean, you could just pick them off with a bow and arrow. But they're not going to be a threat to you doing it that way.
I should do what?
If you just shoot them with the bow and arrow from a distance, I mean, there's no way they can attack you or harm you.
Yeah, that's what we're gonna do then.
Yeah, you can easily shoot them a few times and put them down. And then you would skin them if you want to make the survivalist or hunter roll.
Then hunter. Now I just need to find here. 1 success.
Okay, roll 1d6 for me.
And 1d6. 4.
Yes, you managed to get 4 supplies off of the 2 of them. So that's like meat, might also be like kindling you recover or something like that. And useful parts of the body they're used for making medicine or whatever.
You got enough space to carry them all? Or do you need to split up between us?
We could keep them at the camp for now, since we're going to stay here for a little bit.
See, everyone remember to mark decay as well, because you made camp.
Okay. That's 1 more decay.
And the question then becomes, what's your next step? There is a mysterious hole full of stinking meat and something at the bottom of it. There is a huge mine. There's no telling where that goes or how deep. And then there is the vast open tundra. And you're not sure what lies beyond.
Our search obviously was a critical, so we never found any maps or anything in that search. So that's probably no
No,
use.
there's no sign of any kind of writing apparatus or anything like that here.
I guess I'll try to heal our injuries again before we go anywhere.
If you want to spend enough supplies, yeah.
Will we make it as a camp then? So that means we heal the fatigue of that as well.
Spending camp is going to use up 2 supplies as well. You don't have to, but there's no point really making camp unless you're going to spend the supplies.
Well, don't we still have the camp from the other day, though?
Yeah, but the making camp is you're spending the supplies for everybody to eat and for the fire.
Oh, yeah. Alright, so I'll spend one of my supplies to try to heal us.
Back and reset.
That will heal 1 injury each.
That's me back.
You heal one injury.
And I'll use supply for heal fatigue as well.
Sorry?
How's bad everyone's fatigue? Mine's at 2, so should we use supply for fatigue then as well, or?
It was up to you. If you could spend one to get a fatigue back, you could make camp again here before you set off, or you could just set off to your next destination and then make camp.
We just set off. What do you think?
I think we should probably rest one more time before we leave.
Do you mean a short rest, or do you mean making camp?
Probably make camp and then set off tomorrow.
Yeah, it sounds good.
Unless either of you want to explore the castle.
Dungeon Roll already explored the castle, basically, so we're actually at the point now. It's move on to where we want, what way we want to go of options.
Yeah, I mean, if you want to go through the mines or in the giant hole.
Or we'll just go through the frozen tundra. What's the worst can happen there?
So what's it to be?
I think we're resting at camp first, and then we're going to head out.
Okay, so we've already made camp, so we know it's sheltered. So you're going to spend 2 supplies. Everyone's going to get 1 fatigue restored for eating. And then, do you want to make a cooking roll?
Let's go for it.
Well, does everyone have enough fatigue that it's worth making a cooking roll?
I only have 1 more fatigue after resting.
Oh, after eating. So you'll get 2
Yeah.
more back during the night if you sleep, yeah.
I've got 1 fatigue just now. If I cook, obviously that'd be a 2nd fatigue, but if I get success, that's them both gone.
Yeah, but you also, I don't think it's really worth your cooking this time.
Yeah, probably not.
So someone can tell a tale again. If anyone has a trait in mind they want to go for.
Tink, do you want me to, or do you want me to?
You go this time.
I guess it's where do you find joy? So he's from a place where there's a bunch of where most of the people are like hunters and warriors and stuff, right? And he spent a great time in the wild, just watching animals so he could eventually learn how to transform into animals. Or just I don't know. I can't think of anything else.
So you're saying that the place that he finds joy is what, in the wilderness?
Yeah.
Okay, among the animals, does he prefer the company of animals to people?
Yeah, let's go with that. Because he can like transform into them and kind of talk to them, I guess. I don't know.
Sure, and that's also why you worship the bear.
Yeah.
That claim explains the bear obsession. Thought it was just the rituals of the bear.
I don't know, would that be stoic? Would that be a good one for that? Or jaded?
What about loner?
Loner? Yeah, that works. Those are two traits that go really well together. He's foolhardy and a loner.
Yeah. Right, makes sense. Okay, do you want to have someone taking watch, or do you want to split taking watch, or what?
I can take one of the watches, since I didn't take one last time.
You want to take the other half of the watch?
If we take halves, we both lose the fatigue but gain a fatigue, that type of thing, isn't it? Yeah.
No, if you both take a watch, you'll both get one short rest, which means you will get one fatigue back.
Yeah, we only lose a fatigue if something happens during the watch.
Yeah, you lose the fatigue if you make a roll.
I'd like to try and get long rest so I can get rid of the stress that I've got.
Or weren't you smoking earlier?
No, that's Tarlock.
Oh.
He's just drinking ale. He's drinking.
Oh, you did eat earlier, though. That's one of the ways you can get rid of stress.
Oh yeah, I didn't realise that part. I'll take the other watch then with you.
Okay, so you two will recover one more fatigue, and Eric will recover 2 fatigue. And that takes you through to morning.
Right, I vote for we go through the mine shaft. Not that it's like anywhere I'm comfortable or anything like nothing like that alone. Not just because I'm small and I'm not a dwarf.
Right, you're a gnome.
I am not a gnome. I'm just slightly short in stature.
Does that mean you're a halfling?
I am no halfling just because I liked in small. I grew up in small caves. I'm small, and I like to work in mines. Does not mean I'm anything like that.
Are you also miserly and hold a grudge?
That is the difference with perspective.
Okay, so the person who's definitely not a dwarf wants to go into the mine. What about the rest of you?
We can't let the dwarf go. The person who's totally not a dwarf go alone.
I mean, what's the worst that could happen?
He dies.
GM looks at his sheet of enemies.
Alright, to the
Well.
mine.
I mean, I can imagine looking out across the vast expanse of the tundra, cold and freezing and barren, that going underground into the mine might seem kind of more inviting.
I don't fancy seeing what's in the hole.
Okay, so let me just see here. Need to measure something here.
Well, that's never a good sign.
Okay, so you're prepared for the journey. Going to be the dungeoneer is going to make the roll because it's a mine.
Yep.
Is everybody fresh now, or does anyone still have an injury or a fatigue or anything?
Health minus, but other than that, everything else is fine.
Same.
Okay, so you're not fresh as a party because you've got injuries. Or,
No, we have health down.
yeah, health counts towards it as well.
Okay.
Let's see, so extra dice are being prepared. You can burn a torch for an extra dice, which you probably want to do because you're going to lose one for your health tick.
Yeah.
You can use my torch.
It is unknown, so it's going to be lose a dice, and it is treacherous, so you're going to lose another dice.
How many dice is that then? We've got kind of lost now. Dungeon level 3. So I get initial dice, which is 4.
Okay, so that's 4. You get you're prepared, so that's 5, and then you're going to -1 for your health, but that's negated because you're burning a torch, and then you're going to lose another 2.
So down to 3 again.
Yes.
Would actually-
You can take, if everybody takes fatigue, you can get 1 more dice.
Just seeing if any of my skills would help with bold, because I'm daring and somewhat reckless. And going down the mine, that help increase it my trait.
I mean, you can use bold reckless, okay, but it's actually going to give you 1 less dice.
There's no point using that then. Wizard's Sight was only count auras, so I won't be able to tell anything that. And Rough Hands, that doesn't really help with that type of thing.
I don't think Rough Hands is going to help. Well, Rough Hands, because you're a miner and you're experienced, yeah, I'll give you that one if you want. You can get a dice for that.
Okay, so 4 dice then.
Oh, wow.
That's a lot.
That's a hell of a roll, yeah.
And then we each still take 1 fatigue, right?
Yes, everybody takes 1 fatigue for the journey itself. Okay, you aced it.
Why don't we?
So this would normally cost you... it's only going to cost 1 supply for the journey.
I'll take that one, okay?
The mine, as it turns out, is a very well kept, and at one point must have been a very well designed and constructed mine. The stonework is impeccable on a scale that is, you know, far beyond anything you've seen before, because of the size of the people that were digging it. But clearly, the people that were digging it and constructing it had great skill and finesse when it came to this kind of work. So it has not collapsed. It's properly supported. It's properly fortified. Nothing has been able to like tunnel in from the edges anywhere that they didn't want it to. So there's no you don't encounter any monsters or, you know, underground races of things that might have like crawled into other sort of unkempt mines. You come across huge repositories of precious ore, silver primarily, as well as iron in the deeper caverns. These have been mined out by things, obviously, that can carry things to a much larger degree than you can. So if you wanted to, you could spend the time and you could fill your pockets with silver and iron, but it's far beyond anything that you can carry comfortably. So it's up to you if you want to fill your load up with silver and or iron.
Probably not for the type of mission, because the fact is we need weight for carrying supplies and bits and bobs more than we do need treasure, annoyingly.
Yeah, it's probably not worth it.
We could be like stockpile it in like a pile, so we'll know where to come back to. And just basically
Yeah, I mean, you know where it is, so you could come back here, and no one has been here in who knows how long. So it's obviously no one else seems to know about it or hasn't dared to come here.
We're basically going to be a fortune's rich, because we've found 2 mines in it. We've got this mine, we've got now the treasure down at the bottom of the hill, of the mountain of the castle.
Yeah, we could go back to civilization. One of us could claim, I don't know, some kind of lordship of the castle and force people to move here.
Yeah, we don't need this mission. We'll just go back and become lords.
Yeah,
That's how it works, right?
I mean, yeah. If the greed didn't drive you on, you could return now with this knowledge.
We need to get more.
What was our goal again originally?
There was a legend of an ancient city that was extremely wealthy to the far north. So after a day or so of travelling through this mine, it goes upwards again, and there's another entrance or exit to it. Disused. There's been an avalanche or something at the far side. You have to dig your way out through the snow and the ice, and then when you come to the surface, you find yourself several miles away from the mountain range, and you're out here in the midst of the tundra.
Like,
Go ahead.
I was going to say she would secure our way back through here. Let's make sure we've got the entrance to get back in case snow gets collapsed in again on it.
Do we have anything we can leave here as like a sign or something that won't get blown away or destroyed by the snow and wind?
Use something maybe from the mines if there's anything there. Could just put some stuff to try and hold an entrance or try and support an entrance, so it doesn't get blocked again.
I mean, the entrance is huge. I think it's snowed over with an avalanche. I don't mean the thing's completely covered. But obviously, the piles of snow out in the front have kind of piled up enough that for people your size, you're having to dig your way out.
And even if it does get covered up, we still know where the castle is.
Well, we sort of know where we are anyway. Because we've got a bit of paper we could write on a map so we roughly know.
Yeah, I mean, you can orientate yourself from here because you can still see the mountains that you left behind. You have a rough idea of where you are.
Alright, tall man. Lift me up so we can see if we can see anything further ahead.
As far as the eye can see, in all directions, is just open snow and rock. The wind sweeping across it, barren.
Should I put you in my backpack so you don't sink in the snow?
I will not sink in this snow. I am not small. I am highly challenged.
Vertically challenged.
Alright, I'll just send him back down in the snow.
Alright, Pathfinder, what way do we go?
What way indeed? That's true. Poor because we are prepared. No, we aren't prepared.
Are we not prepared?
Yeah, we are just wandering out in the tundra, hoping that we find something. 0. That's bad. Bitter, maybe. So should I roll another die, or?
Not another die, but you get 2 XP instead of 1.
Okay.
Right, give me a second. I need to roll something here.
At least you're a level up for that now.
This is going to be interesting. And it's a fail as well, isn't it? Oh, you're only a day out. Okay, that's not going to be so bad for you, I don't think. Take you back here for a second. Measure this. And pop you back here.
Eric, do you know where we're going?
To the north.
What did you get? Oh, all ones as well, Jesus.
Yeah.
I mean, that's not so
Critical
bad.
failure.
Okay, so everyone takes a cold, a fatigue, a stress, and the fatigue you took from the journey.
Injury against health soon.
Should we take a break and eat? Oh,
Well, you
no.
don't have the opportunity to because as you are trekking across the open tundra, you know, the wind picks up, the snow starts, you know, visibility is reduced, and you become lost. Your pathfinder doesn't even know which direction he's headed in, so he tries to stumble his way through without losing you all completely. As soon as the wind starts to die down a little bit and visibility begins to return, not even partway to the horizon, you see a hunting party of humanoid, hulking beasts. They're dressed very primitive. They've got like furs wrapped around their bodies. Their bodies are covered in fur themselves. They're hunched over, and they're dragging nasty-looking axes and clubs. They clearly catch your scent on the wind and start hurriedly, you know, bounding over towards you all. What do you do?
I want to take some meat out of my supplies. I'm just gonna throw it in their direction. Hopefully they stop.
Okay, so you're throwing away a supply. It's always a good move. What does everyone else want to do?
I think I'm going to cast the barrier and sort of make like a sort of wall of sort of ice that's very reflective so they can't sort of see us. Sort of a mirror wall.
I'm not sure ice is reflective, but let's get a roll.
It's level 2 and -1, so 2 dice. Nope.
That's not good. Okay, Eric, what do you want to do?
Just knock an arrow and probably shoot at the nearest one.
Okay, let's get your skill roll.
That would be fuck, just 2 dice because I suck at this. 1 success.
That's not an. Okay, you knock an arrow, let it fly, and the first of the troop that are bounding towards you is struck in the armour in the chest, the torso, and he falls into the snow. The rest of them are making a kind of horrid, guttural, laughing sound between them, and it gets louder as they get closer to you, and they're like laughing almost in unison. They sound like for demons on the snowbank as they head towards you. Grunt waves his hands around and tries to create an ice barrier, but the creatures start leaping almost on all fours at such a speed that they passed the area where you're trying to create a spell, and it springs up like behind them, and they're on you. So what do you do, Grunt?
I will try and slash my sword around to whack as many of them off as possible. Also,
Okay.
Technically, this fatigue action will take me to health damage after that.
Yep. So it doesn't count against you for this roll, but obviously it will afterwards.
Oh god, I'm gonna die.
God, man, so bad.
I've had too many good rolls the last few games. That's determined
Yeah.
to kill.
So XP fatigue obviously is going to affect your health, and then you're going to take an injury as one of them leaps on you and starts to smack you with its wooden club. What do you want to do, Joel?
I'm gonna try to transform into the giant bear that we had earlier
Okay.
and just leap at them. Three. Would I gain a bonus for my trait Touched by the Gods?
Yes.
And then -1 for the health, so that'd be 4.
So you're going to take an injury as you transform, because they're going to close in on you and make the first kind of swipe against you in your new form. But then, yes, you transform into the bear, clearly attracting the attention of the 4 of them as they surround you.
And then I take another health.
Yeah. But that's just for the transformation, so do you want to attack them as well?
Yeah.
Eric, do you want to just shoot at them again? Or do you want to
Yeah.
run away in fear?
No, just shoot at them. They're just animals, Lamar.
Yep, if you want both make rolls.
I don't think any of my
I
traits
can
would
do-
help with attacking, would they?
I don't think so, no.
0 sucks.
Yep. You let fly, but the arrow misses. Oh my god. Okay.
Dragon, why are you not here?
So the 4 of them jump on you, Joel, and start to... They just give up their weapons and they just start to savagely bite into your fur, tearing chunks out of you, taking injury.
Alright.
The arrow whizzes by one of them and it turns around and snarls and hops and leaps its way across to you, Eric, and then it lunges at you. So what do you do?
Fuck. Take out the axe and try to fight it off.
Okay, so give me the roll.
That would be 4 dice then.
It started
Fucking hell.
It started off so well as well.
How much XP have you all gained down this? Just one combat?
Yeah, everyone's at level like fuck. Okay, it's going to leap on you, Eric, and sink its teeth into you, and you're going to take an injury.
Fucking hell.
It's okay though. If we all die, we can just start off with Draken, just waking up surrounded by our dead body.
Yeah, I mean, I think it's fair to have Draken contribute somewhere here. So let's see what's he got.
He failed
He
4.
has Fighter 1. He's Blast 3 though, so that's like 4 dice. Does one of you want to roll 4 dice for me? Oh, that'll do it. Okay, so Draken, who up to this point has just been cowardly, pissing his pants in the rear, waves his arms around and does that ice blast thing that he has with the cold air, sends him flying. And the 3 of them that were on the cave bear go flying out in directions. You can hear the bones snapping, and they, with fright, they kind of like leap off of or out of the way of the blast. And when the ones that are able to, hobble away and retreat. Leaving behind the body of their fallen foe. The one that was attacking Eric will see that the rest of them have fled, and he will turn and run with them. He had a crit, so yeah.
Was it 2 guys with axes with them?
So he's left bloody and beaten, but they do flee.
I guess I'll leap the one that's left behind.
I'm not sure if there's anywhere we can make a safe camp here, but unfortunately I think it's what we need to do. Find somewhere for camp.
Alright, do you want to try to... how far are we from the cave? Should we just... Alright, who can skin it?
Eric, your turn.
Am I like a Pokemon for skinning? Ah.
That's a horrifying thought.
I summon you, Eric. Skin my
One success. Again a d6.
I guess I'll use it to try to heal us before we keep going.
Go for it.
So that's 2 since I have 2 health.
XP again. How many XP? How much XP? I'm at 5 now. How many is anyone else?
I already leveled up once this time, but I'm at 3 again. Oh wait, did you take an XP for the failed expedition earlier?
Cool.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm at 6. Night safety, possibly, I think, maybe.
Yeah, but if we take camp, then our injuries get worse.
We are camping in an open field area, which is dangerous as is. Tarlet, what do you think? Camp here or head back?
I mean, it's the open tundra. We don't really have any place to. We don't have tents, do we?
No.
I don't think anyone bought a tent. No.
Uh,
Sorry, there is a third possibility. You could track the things that just attacked you.
oh, we can do that. Maybe they have some threading.
This time we get a surprise on and kill them.
So it would be a hunter roll to track them. You're basically making a journey, but you're tracking instead of pathfinding.
That's 2 dice, 3 dice.
So you don't lose any dice because you do know where you're going, you're following the tracks.
Yep. 0 successes.
Oh, that's another XP for everyone.
That is indeed. Let me just move you here.
When is it we can increase our level? Is that when we camp, isn't it?
It is when you make camp, yeah.
I'm curious, Tark, how much XP have you got now, seriously?
I'm at 5 again.
I'm at 7 now.
Okay, so everybody takes fatigue for the travel as well. What was the highest there? A 4?
Yeah, 4.
Oh, okay, so I know where you are. Hang on. I was thinking you get lost, but you don't really. Yes, they go along kind of detoured route, but eventually. You're still about a day away, a day's travel away from some sort of settlement. But on the horizon, you can see buildings, you can see smoke. You can see a lot of smoke actually coming from just beyond, or just where this thing is. The tracks definitely head in that direction, but the snow starts to settle in. Your visibility is reduced, and you're forced to kind of stop where you are because of the weather. You've no idea if they know you're following you or not. You don't know if they're going to send out more parties coming back this way or not. You would guess probably not, while the weather's this bad. But yes, there is a settlement on the horizon.
What do I do? We try and barge in and see what we can get, or we could.
This is now like in the middle of a blizzard.
Should we bury ourselves in the snow and hope for the best?
Do some sort of camp at some point, but we could try and break into the settlement while there's a blizzard blowing and take over one of the households, maybe.
Oh, you also lose 2 supplies.
Well, there's the supplies then.
Yeah, just for eating stuff while you're traveling.
So how many supplies have actually got left in total between us all? I'm out.
I think I have 1 left.
How many of you got, Tarlock?
Supplies. Also only 1.
I think we need there needs to be like a spot on the character sheet just to keep track of the entire party's supplies.
Oh.
Noted.
It could be sort of a general weight thing, is just counted as part of the load.
Well, if
we're
one
all-
person was carrying all the supplies, they would have track of all the supplies because they'd be all on their load. But because you just have it spread out.
Yeah, because it's hard to. Because what if someone accidentally uses supplies when you already were going to use the supplies?
Yeah, I mean, you'd probably want to nominate someone to be the supply carrier, and that means they're taking less decay as well. Because if you're all carrying supplies and you all take decay, each of those stacks of supplies are taking decay. Whereas if it's all in one stack, it's just 1 decay.
Right.
I
But
think that's
if something happens to that person who's carrying all those supplies, that's the danger of putting all your eggs in one basket.
That shows sort of load as well, because that means they won't be able to carry anything else, really.
Yeah, it just depends how you divide what you're carrying.
Right, we're going to try and break in one of the house things or one of the settlement bits here, see if we can get some shelter that way.
All right. If we can find our way still.
So I mean that'd be another journey because you're making the day's journey to their camp if that's what you want to do. You can go around their camp to what seems to be a volcano or something that's spouting smoke. It's a large kind of hill you can see beyond it, or you can try and make camp where you are.
Smoke's likely to have people there, which we don't really want to encounter unless we're going to kill. Settlements could potentially have people in it, or it could just be an abandoned settlement.
All right. Let's head towards the settlement. That's my vote.
I concur. You alright with that, Eric?
Yep, that's fine.
Does anyone have scout as a skill?
I summon Eric.
No, I don't have skull. I can buy it though. How much is it?
We need to set up camp to level up.
Oh, true. Then I don't have it. Yeah.
Oh yeah, it was Drakenad Scout, isn't it? I think that's what it was. Yeah, I think that's our best bet. I don't know now, because we don't have really scouts, so
Well, let's hope for the best.
I mean, again, you can go around it, or you can make camp where you are. It's up to you. Or you can go in a completely different direction.
we'll go for the smoke and go for the kill. If worst case, we can surprise and kill them.
Yeah, let's just go to the closest shelter since we don't have scout.
Yeah.
Okay, so I would say the Pathfinder is the person to make this roll, but you can have someone else make it if you want. But of course, they won't have a skill for it. Sorry, the hunter can because you're still tracking.
Oh, that would be 3 dice.
Haven't done us wrong yet. Come on.
It's not unknown. It is. Right. Okay.
So what if you don't have the skill, but you have -2 from health? Is it just 1 dice is the lowest it can go?
No, the lowest it can go is 2 dice and take the worst result.
Okay.
It just goes in the opposite direction. But that makes it it's nigh on impossible at that point.
No, you just gotta roll
Success.
2 sixes.
Make a trip. Okay, so everyone takes fatigue. Everyone takes a second fatigue because it's tough going. You approach the camp and it becomes readily apparent that this is a camp full of the beasts that you previously were attacked by. Their tents are little more than burrows in the snow. They've set up fires. You can see hunks of meat lying out, roasting near the fires. Some of them are like on spits over it. The creatures are cuddled and yapping and barking at each other. They laugh excitedly. You can see lots of like young cub ones kind of running around and just tearing into hunks of meat themselves. And you guys are kind of like lying down on the snowbank watching all this happen. Immediately adjacent to the settlement is a small hill which is spouting lava and plumes of black smoke. And they seem to be using the heat from this volcano to keep themselves warm here where they're camped. In the distance to your northeast, something that is not a mountain, perhaps it's some kind of structure or a castle, you can make out on the outline of it on the horizon.
Let's burn our tents.
But
Should we wait here or should we keep going?
We can either attack and try and kill off them while we've got an edge of surprise, and then take what we need from it, or we buy it.
so I would say there's like 20 or so of them, probably more.
Should we wait until next time for Draken to be back for that then?
Probably.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think anything we could do.
You could just
Okay.
not attack them and sneak away into a different direction.
But where's the fun in that?
Cast a barrier around them so they can't breathe, so all the oxygen disappears, or like smokes them out with the smoke in there.
Not really how barrier works. It's a barrier.
What if we summon the Great Bear and offer them as sacrifice?
I mean, you do have
Yeah.
the ritual, assuming it goes well.
Do that.
Alright, let's see what happens then.
So this is
I guess
so this is your ritual of the Great Bear to summon him and ask him to smite your enemies.
pretty much. And then would I get a bonus for Touched by the Gods, right?
Yes, you'll get that for anything to do with the Great Bear. Oh, a crit. Okay. Yes, the mighty bear arrives in your vision and your smoke from your herbs. And what do you ask of him?
To cause the to redirect the lava to flow into the village and just defeat our enemies.
But the bear considers the size and the strength of the sacrifice you're offering him. Although technically he's doing all the work, but he accepts your offer. And he wisps away as a form of mist. You can see him going in the direction of the volcano. There's a rumbling in the ground, and the volcano becomes agitated and starts to spurt and spew out more lava and more smoke and more fumes. And this giant bear shape emerges from the pit of the volcano, and it's covered and dripping in magma. It lets out a ferocious roar across the tundra, and all the creatures in the settlement turn. Their eyes go wide in fear, and they start to yelp like injured dogs. The volcano magma bear charges across the tundra towards them, bringing a flow of lava with it as it goes, and it smashes into the settlement, setting all the little burrows and fires alight, crushing dozens of the creatures underneath its feet, melting them as it does so. The ones that do survive are those that are quick enough to take off towards the east. And it's not long before the entire settlement is just covered in lava and melting and burning.
At least we've got somewhere warm to camp tonight.
We just committed genocide.
No, I'm sure. Some of them survived.
But they're running out into the tundra, they won't survive long.
They have fur.
But no food.
They have each other.
That's true. Cannibalism, a time honored tradition.
Right, let's see what we can scavenge for food ourselves. Let's go.
Is it just me? It seems like every time I make a character that's basically a warrior, they slowly turn into a summoner.
Or not so slowly turn into a genocidal maniac.
Yes. Well, they all turn into that. Yeah, because Jeff killed all those goblins, right? He like wiped out that entire kingdom with the dragon.
The hobgoblins, yeah.
Yeah, and then the fairy killed everyone in his own people except for himself.
And then set fire to the fall court.
Yeah. Yeah, pretty much all of them do.
Water guy never did. He just destroyed things.
He tried to flood the city. Like 2-3 times.
Only partly successful.
It's par for the course for players. Yes, so you're left with a pool of cooling lava before you where the settlement once stood. You will not have a trouble. Well, you do have a trouble with a heat source to an extent because you'll have to light a fire and stuff. You can't sit next to lava, you'll choke to death.
I guess we'll get as close as we can and just kind of make a campfire.
We could make some sort of fire with the lava possibly somewhere nearby.
Yeah,
Some sort of...
Yeah, you can make camp, you just spend supplies stuff as usual.
We've only got about how many supplies left, but 2 we said we've got left, so be enough to make camp now, but don't think we have enough for a journey unless we can find anything around here.
I have one. I can try to heal our injuries again.
Okay, so you can forage because you can scavenge leftover supplies from the settlement.
Okay, so what? Who's got the skills for that then?
I think we should spend a supply to eat first. I don't think any of us want 3 health ticks.
Yeah, I'm going to be at 3 health if I don't use something now, actually.
Okay,
So
I mean,
let's-
you can eat and take a short rest and recover 2 fatigue if you want. Before you do anything else, because you've got time now to do that, there's no enemies here.
Yeah, and then while we do that, I'm gonna try to heal us with my supply.
So you're going to heal with one supply, and we're using Turlock's supply to take the fatigue out. Then, is that right?
Is that alright, Tarlock?
That's okay. How much fatigue are we losing?
We'll lose 2 fatigue off it if you use the supply.
Yeah.
And then I'm gonna try to heal us. So would that be 2 injuries? And I'll get 1 fatigue back for healing us.
We get our cold reduced because we're actually resting near a heat source.
We'll do that when we make camp. So, do foraging first of all. I guess a survivalist would be the skill to use. If you want, we can have Draken roll it. He's got 2.
Yeah, we'll need it.
So that's 2, 3. So yeah, if someone wants to roll 3 dice, and that's going to be Draken. Okay, and then I'm going to roll 2d4. I'll just do it quick. Okay, so you get 5 supplies from the remnants of the settlement. And if you want to make camp, you're going to spend 2 of those supplies.
Alright, so I'll take one of the extra ones.
And everyone's going to mark decay for making camp. And everyone's going to restore a fatigue because they ate.
Hmm. And then it's 0 fatigue again.
I'll just count his survivalist roll as making the camp, so that's going to be sheltered. And you can... Well, we need to do that roll first, I suppose. Yes, so does anyone want to tell a tale, first of all?
I'll go for it this time then. I see we survived. We survived. It just doesn't take. We can't be beaten at all. Well, we survived. Just back we smile on our face and some bit of helpful luck, and we smashed through their guts and bones. That's all we need to do. All we need to do is keep bashing away.
It's good advice, but what's your story?
Well, that's how do you survive, basically.
Okay.
I survived. Smile on my face and glory in my heart. I'll wake through the battles as I've always done back in the past with my last party, before they all died.
Eric just raises his hand. Why did your last party all die?
We got called into that dungeon to go on a mighty dungeon quest by the Emperor. We all went to. We were doing successful until we found the one leading the dungeon, the wizard who killed every one of my party. Myself, I somehow managed to survive, but he got away before I could finish him off.
So, I mean, you're saying you survived because you fought your way out, whereas the rest of the party did not survive.
Yes, I basically boldly went through and just kept going at him. The rest of the party, though, did not went so successful. Unfortunately, got away in the end because I couldn't finish the job in time.
Were they just not as good as you at doing that particular technique?
It was that basically, I was very bold. I went down and right towards him, avoiding it. Managed to avoid the attacks. His attacks hit other members of my party, who are a bit more sluggish in response. But he did get me. In the end, he froze me partly, but the freeze did not fully take to get away because he thought he obviously killed me as well, but he didn't.
So you survived because he was sloppy.
Yes. That's why I learned magic to counter these spells so I can actually count the. That's why I have the barrier spell for protection against he tries to use magic against on me, and it was like that skill wizard sight so I can detect the aura of a wizard being near me.
Right.
How long were you frozen?
Not very long. He didn't realise it. It's long enough for him to get away, and I couldn't find him.
Are you sure it hasn't been like hundreds of years? Because I did hear that humans were shorter back then.
I am not that old. I'm only 22.
What, so was your last adventuring party like last summer?
Unless I was frozen for longer than I actually expected. I did look a bit older when I remember seeing him afterwards.
What trait are you taking for this?
Good question. I didn't actually think I just thought a funny story. Just let me. Adventurous, because he sort of went on the adventures to gain the experience. When he was originally a labourer, and obviously when he went, he's still excited for going on adventures, even though he's.
So your answer was you survived by what?
How do I survive? I
How
originally
does-
put one on the face, but I'm thinking something else might be more funny.
Well, what your story? Which answer was it giving?
By staying fit and strong, I'd say actually. How do you survive by staying fit and strong?
Right. Okay. So what suits that? Because originally I was thinking sort of brave or fearless would have applied.
Defender?
That's more like defending your home though.
Oh yeah. How about the heart of battle?
Oh, hidden depths. More resilient than you appear.
Yeah, I think that's a good one actually.
Because whereas everyone else got taken down, you were just kind of like partially frozen.
And I put hidden depths on.
Right, okay, I'm just going to make him roll. So that's going to be... Someone wants to roll 4 dice for me, and this is Draken scouting out the camp. Oh, crit, nice. That makes it easy.
Yeah, Draken's the only one who gets crits today.
Oh, you can level up our XP as well. You can level our skills up.
Yes, anyone who has 6 XP can level up.
Alright, I got a XP for summoning like the bear, right?
For critting it? Oh yes, because it is your trait, yes.
Alright, so I had enough to level up again.
Two E6.
And I don't know how you want to divide the watch or from matter, but it was a crit, so you aren't going to be discovered or have your rest broken anyway. It's a bit more interesting looking.
Okay, I'm back. I'm not sure to maybe level up my spell possibly just because of the health damage. Actually, no, I think I'm going to level up fighter actually. It's up to level 5, isn't it? We can go up to.
You can go up to level 5, yeah.
If I get the heal spell, would that help with the healer skill?
You don't need the supplies to heal if you've got the spell. But I mean, you might be better just putting it into healer so your heal is higher.
That's what I'm doing with fighter just now until there's a way to fix the health, but I don't think there will be.
Yeah, since you're putting in, I'll put my level up into healer.
Did you level up as well, Tarlock?
Oh, right, I want to buy scouting. Scouting 1.
Scout, okay.
And now deduct 10 XP.
Do you just want to push on a bit further, or do you just want to wait until you've got reinforcements?
Tarlock, it's only 6 XP to level up.
No, new skill is 10 XP.
No, remember we talked about it last time.
Yeah, we changed it last time because we were saying that because it's a short campaign, it made more sense for it to be 6.
Okay. Okay. Then can I get a second skill too? What's useful? What do we need? Or should I level up Pathfinder for more dice?
Pathfinder sounds like an interesting one to maybe go up more.
Yeah, I was feeling the Pathfinder when you're out in like the middle of nowhere with low supplies is probably not a great idea. Although also any kind of hunter survivalist is good for foraging for supplies.
I'm probably better finishing up because I'm going to get something's got happening here with the wee one. So I'll have to finish up here if you're alright with that.
Yeah.
Sure.
Yes, the health ticks are adding up now, so you might want more people there rolling dice.
Yeah, I've got 2 health damages now. What is it? You and me and I think Blue Guy, we've both got 2 health damages now, don't we?
I do. Yeah, I think if I had survivalist or one of the foraging ones, I'd probably level that up, but you can't. Joel can't really survive on his own, I guess.
This just reminds me of Multi Guy again. He says, how many times he's damaging himself, killing himself?
Yeah, I mean it makes sense to be kind of more focused rolls. And just doubling up on a couple of them.
If only shapeshift could let me transform other people.
If only. I mean, it's pretty damn useful as it is.
Yeah. But I guess that'd be more of a wizard thing than a shaman thing anyway.
Yeah. I probably will add like more spells for people who want to play a more magical one. Because when I'm doing it in like a portrait version of the rules, I've got more space for stuff.
I think when you update this to the bird campaign, you'll be able to add a lot more different wee bits and bobs to it.
Well, the traits I'm dropping things like tall and stuff like that don't make sense to add in later. And I'll probably change some of the traits around a little bit. Spells I'll probably add another 8 or so spells maybe. Skills,
What about,
I'll add in a few more skills.
What about like a Beastmaster or Summoner skill?
Oh, like for team kind of thing?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'll probably put in something like that. In fact, I'll put a note for that just now so I don't forget.
Right, I'll jump off the now, right? I'll catch you all next week, alright?
Okay, man.
Alright.
Yes, yeah.
Is it?
But yeah, that, and I want to rejig settlements. But I mean, there's not going to be a lot more settlements in this one. And I don't know. I'm kind of half and half if I want to consolidate the equipment more or not. Because I personally would like to, but I don't know if it really fits the style of game. Master. That's a good one. Yeah, I'll probably add a couple more skills. 1, 2, 3, 3 or 4 more. Or maybe not, actually I need to change the format of this. I may not be able to fit them in.
Yeah, so are you still going to keep the 4 ticks on each clock, or are you going to move it up to 6?
Do you think I need 6?
I think
4 is fine in my opinion.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm just going to add like an XP one, which is 6. Because that fits in quite nicely. Because the other thing as well, you didn't do this at the start, is you can choose to use 1 less dice than you can, and you tick that into burst, and it means you can spend burst later to give yourself those dice. So you can only ever save 3 ticks in burst, because a 4th one would hurt your health. But that's 3 dice you could set aside early on for using later as well. But I mean, it is meant to be harsh, so that's kind of the point.
So burst filling up would be like you're holding back too much and you get hurt because of it?
Yes. I mean, it's just a way to mechanically limit how much burst you can hold. Because I think keeping 3 is good enough. Because if you add 3 dice to any roll, you're probably going to make it. But yeah, I mean, I like the journey one so far. I need to do the settlement stuff though. Because it's based on Torchbearer, and Torchbearer you just pay your bill when you leave the town. That's kind of what it hinges on. I think I might prefer it to be a sort of charisma type kind of role or something like that maybe. To see what kind of reputation you get with the town.
Yeah, I think that's the biggest thing we're missing. Just someone who can go into town and convince them to give us stuff.
Well, he's got Persuader 2, I think, so he did take that to speak to the guys before. But yeah, I think the settlements should be a kind of more social based thing, and that gives the social character a bit more of a role. Because a lot of the time you're going to be in the wilderness and shit. But I mean, that also reduces the importance of money even more. So which is why I'm thinking about putting all the supplies and stuff like that, all the tools and everything just kind of together. And abstracting money a bit more, because I'm not sure how important money really is, mechanically speaking.
I feel like this one should be more like trading.
Yeah, barter and stuff, yeah. Which comes down to like social rules again.
Yeah, like if we go to a settlement where they don't have many supplies, we could trade them supplies for more and more expensive stuff.
Yeah, because there's a game called Trophy Gold, and your money in it is just like a stash, and once you've got so much stash, that's your character's complete and can retire. I wonder if I should make it a bit more like that. So the money, the treasure you collect, just goes towards like your stash, and once you've got enough stash, then you can retire successfully. And that's your kind of goal for your character.
Well, we still gotta find the ancient city of Cold.
Yes, and then get home alive. So next time you should make it there, if all goes to plan. And then the session after that is about getting home in one piece.
Turns out the treasure is just giant buildings made out of ice.
No, I wouldn't do that to you.
Or is it a dragon guarding the treasure?
Well, it might be that. Or something similar. But you took down the giant, no problem.
Whoa.
As long as you get a crit, I mean, you can take most things down pretty quickly.
Yeah, the giant was easy.
Yeah, I mean, that's the thing though, because you can only do like, 3 actions before you're taking a health tick because of the fatigue roll to your rolls. So you need to take things down pretty quickly. But if you get a crit, I mean, you're gonna, if it has like 4 health ticks and you get a crit, you're taking away 3 of them right away.
I mean, Tarlok basically killed the giant himself.
Yes,
Yeah.
he swallowed the giant. Well, you two got fucking smushed and then battered, which is hilarious. Yeah, Tarlok's doing all the work here. He's also the Pathfinder and the Hunter,
Pokemon.
That explains why he's so bitter.
and now the Scout as well. He's a typical efficient German. He's doing all the work.
Look,
Like, I guess,
I need to drive the garbage stuff now, okay?
I'm just wondering how all our characters would find the ancient city if they didn't meet up at the entrance to this like continent area.
Well, I'm assuming you all came together as a party. It would make sense for you to just randomly meet in a tavern, and what kind of stupid setting does that?
They're not just a bunch of people who've met for the first time and decide to go look for an ancient city together.
Yep. Or to save the world together. I mean, what kind of dumb setting is that?
I wonder, could I turn into a giant bird and just fly us there?
Have you seen the giant birds? Because usually those spells that depend on actually knowing the creature. Haven't seen it before.
I don't know.
Spoiler alert, you haven't.
Are dragons considered animals? Or are they like sentient beings?
Depends on the setting.
I mean, hypothetically, if we see a dragon, could I transform into it?
You probably have to try talking to it first to see if it's sapient or not.
I'll see if I'd be impersonating someone.
Yeah. But also to see if it just eats you first.
Alright, I'll talk to you guys later.
Yeah, I'm gonna get off, man. Thanks for playing.
Yeah.